Yeah, one thing I want to tell you a very significant point, and what is that key for today I have for you what? Today I have for you two important things. Today I will discuss two sheets which I have shared with you. Number one, Restoration Age. Number two, Augustan Age. And when I talk about Restoration Age or Augustan Age, then remember that it's the part of the Neoclassical Age. It's the part of the Neoclassical Age. As already I told you, in history of English literature, you find there was an age, and that age was what? That age was the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages was divided into some small periods, and that was what? That was the Anglo-Norman period. That was what? Age of Chaucer and the Dark Middle Age. In the same way, when I talk about Neoclassicism, when I talk about neoclassicism, remember that this neoclassicism, it is divided into three parts. It's divided into three parts. Number one, Restoration Age or Age of John Dryden. I would like to share my this whiteboard. Then you will be able see what I'm covering and what you have to go. Uh, just sharing with you. Yeah, I have opened my whiteboard, and here you will come to know what I have taken. I have taken for you two important points. Number one, I have taken for you classical age. And this neoclassical age, it covers the period from 1600 to 1785. This is the main age. But this age is divided into three periods. Number one, restoration, restoration, restoration age. And this restoration age, it covers the period from 1660 to 1700. It is also known as और करके age of John Dryden, age of John Dryden, age of John Dryden. It is also known as age of John Dryden because John Dryden was the leading poet of that age. And in this age, what you have to read? In this age, what you have to read? In this age, you will get two important questions, two important short type question, and that was what? That is a heroic tragedy. And today I will discuss with you heroic tragedy or restoration tragedy. Restoration tragedy. In that sheet, you will find this particular point. In this age, you
Excuse
find
me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, the new classical period is from 1660 to 1785 or 1798.
1785. I will tell you ki why 1785. I will tell you.
Okay, right.
I will tell you.
Fine.
I will tell you. So you find what ki the first age is what? The first age is restoration age or age of John Dryden. In that age, that was the period of 40 years. During 40 years, what trends and movements came in literature? What the changes do you find? The first change you find, we don't find any Shakespearean tragedy, we don't find any Shakespearean comedy, we don't find any Puritan concept, we don't find any Renaissance or Reformation, but we find something classicism. We find something classicism. And the impact of classicism, you will see where the impact of classicism you will find in heroic tragedy, and the impact of classicism you will find where you will also find, that is another point, restoration comedy, restoration comedy, restoration comedy, or comedy of manner, or comedy of manner. Yeah, this is the point. After it, what did I tell you? I just told you I have to cover another age. That age is what? That age is age of Alexander Pope, age of Alexander Pope, or Augustan age. Augustan. Our Augustan age. It covers the period from 1700 to 1745. It covers the period from 1700 to 1745. Augustan. Augustan. Number one point. Number two point, in this age, what you have to prepare? Yeah, in this age, what you have to read? In this age, you have to prepare a question, short answer question on mock epic, rape of the lock. In this age, you have to prepare a question on sentimental comedy. In this age, you have to prepare a question on anti sentimental comedy. In this age, you have to prepare a question on periodical essay. In this age, you have to prepare a question on Gothic novel. Short answer type question, I just told you. So these things you have to cover इस एज को लेकर के. Now the next एज जो क्लासिसिज्म में आएगा, the next age is age of enlightenment. Enlightenment, or age of sensibility. और एज ऑफ सेंसिबिलिटी कब से कब तक रहा? 1745 से 1785. Teram Bhai is asking a question ki why 1785? Actually, what happened ki why the people say 1785? Because the spirit of romanticism is started. I'm not saying that romantic age started. Try to understand. You find the spirit of romanticism in English literature since 1785. From 1785 you find it. So why do you find it? Because the Gita was translated from Sanskrit into English, and it is said that with the translation of the Gita, the Western people or the Western poet came to know about the concept of mysticism, and mysticism is the basic point of what? Mysticism is the basic point of romantic age or romantic literature. This is why the people or the critic are agreed that it covers the period from 1745 to 1785. And the remarkable poet of the remarkable writer of this age was Dr. Samuel Johnson. Dr. Samuel Johnson. And what you have to prepare in this age? You have to prepare four wheels of the novel. Four wheels of the novel. अब ये फोर व्हील्स ऑफ द नॉवेल जो है, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको केवल ऐसे दिया जाएगा. रिमेंबर दैट कि फोर व्हील्स ऑफ द नॉवेल आपको जो ये है, टॉपिक आपका क्या है? टॉपिक आपका ये है कि व्हाट आई वांट टू से कि क्लासिसिज्म. देन इन क्लासिसिज्म, क्लासिसिज्म इज ओनली अ टॉपिक, it's only a title. But in classicism, you should try to find out the popular, or the you can say ki the changes which took place. First, you can say ki in classicism or in this age, what happened? You will come to know a very significant point, that was the origin of the novel. You will come to know. So you have to remember this point. I just told you about periodical essay. It means that Richard Steele is not in your syllabus. Joseph Edison is not in your syllabus. Oliver Goldsmith is not in your syllabus. But remember that these things will be asked. Why Matthew Arnold said that 18th century was the age of prose and reason. Because if you talk about classicism, it means that you are talking about 17th and 18th century. So in 17th and 18th century, what the changes do you find? What the changes do you find? You must know. जो भी changes आया है वो हमें समझना पड़ेगा. तो अगर आप देखेंगे कि आपके यहाँ जैसे मैंने इस एज को कवर किया, मिल्टन के बाद आप खुद उठा के देखिएगा, आपके यहाँ दो राइटर आए हुए हैं, जॉन ड्राइडेन और साथ ही साथ अलेक्जेंडर पोप. When I talk about John Dryden, then you remember that John Dryden as a critic, he is in our syllabus as a critic also, and Alexander Pope as a poet. If you talk about Alexander as a poet, you will come to know that Alexander as a poet means what, especially his Rape of the Lock or mock epic. If you talk about classicism, if you talk about that particular age, if you want to know what the trends and movements do you find, what the changes you do you find, and how this age is differ, yeah, how, what the basic differences do you find between this age and the age of John Milton. That is the particular point which you must know, and this is why I have shared that shit only to make you understand that classicism is what neoclassicism, and neoclassicism means you have to know about age of John Dryden. You have to know about age of Alexander Pope. Because the age which you see there, that age is related to your movement. You will come to know about modern age. Modern age means T.S. Eliot. If you come to know about romanticism, romanticism का मतलब Wordsworth, romanticism का मतलब P.B. Shelley, romanticism का मतलब H.T. Coleridge, those writers means those writers that are prescribed in our syllabus, if they are these, if you find, so some writers you will find, some writers have been taken where, some writers have been picked up from romantic age, and some writers have been taken from where, some writers have been taken from neoclassical age. So these things we have to keep in our mind. What I want to say, what I want to tell you, ki in this way you will come to know ki things are going to easy. What does he expect, what does he want to know? So you have to go with these points. So if you have any query, yeah, if you have any doubt, so let me know. Otherwise, I have to share that PDF file and I will tell you ki what answer you will find, what the changes you will find. Someone posted in chat box. Restoration age 1662 deals with the reign of Charles II. ठीक है, restoration age ठीक है, ठीक है. Yeah. Now, one thing I want to tell you, when I talk about this particular age means age of John Dryden. What we have to take? We have to take two important things. And what is that? That is a uh, restoration tragedy and restoration comedy. I have mentioned और वो question अभी मैं discuss करूंगा कि how you have to tell. Just sharing with you PDF file. Yeah, is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It is
देखिए,
visible.
next thing. Yeah. Next point, which is very important, what I want to tell you here, if you go with this point, if the question is asked, what is restoration age and what the changes do you find in this age? Remember that restoration age, it covers the period from 1660 to 1700. And in this age, the leading poet was who? The leading poet was John Dryden. This is why the age is also known as age of John Dryden. But the important thing is what happened in this age. In this age, you will come to know Charles II. Charles II got the throne of England. He regained, what I am using the word, he regained the throne of England. Please mute, please mute. He regained the throne of England, and the event took place in 1660. This is why the age is known as restoration age. If I talk about restoration, this particular restore, restoration, re plus store, then you come to the restoration. Who was restored on the throne of England? Charles II. You find kingship. Before Charles II, if you go with Puritan age or the sheet which I shared, another sheet I have taken, I have explained that sheet in another platform, and today I will also share you the particular video. You will come to know what happened before that age. Charles the First was assassinated in 1649, and Charles II left England and got shelter in France. After 11 years, he came back to England, and the date means the year was what? The year was 1660, and it was re-establishing of kingship. It was re-establishing of autocracy, where in England, and the English people show their loyalty, they are loyal, they are dedicated to their king in 1660 again. This is why the age is known as restoration age. If the point comes, you have to explain why the age is known as restoration age. It is called restoration age because King Charles II restored on the throne of England in 1660. Before it, he got shelter in France. Charles II got shelter where? Charles II got shelter in France. Why did he take shelter in France? He takes shelter in France because Charles I, they were the king of the Stuart dynasty. Charles I was assassinated. English people was against his king. And when Charles I was assassinated, Charles II left England and got shelter in France. Now the second point, this age is also remarkable for what? This age is also remarkable for the bloodless revolution which took place in 1688. It's the important part. I'm not saying you have to explain, but you must know what other thing you will find. That is a political humdrum, upside down, the chaotic situation which took place in 1640, civil war, theater was banned, press was censorship in the age of John Milton. But you find that key and here in 1688, the same situation was recreated. But what was the difference? This time, no assassination. This time, no murdering. This time, no, you can say, cutting the throat of the king. But what happened? King ultimately left the reign or throne, and you find what? That revolution is known as bloodless revolution. Now, this third point is very significant. This change you find, it was an age of irony, satire, and heroic couplet. This is a very significant point. The age is famous for what? The age was an age of irony, satire, and heroic couplet. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, इट वाज एन एज ऑफ हीरोइक ट्रेजेडी. ये जो हीरोइक ट्रेजेडी है इस पर शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन बनेगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि जब वो मेंशन किया गया होगा तभी बनेगा. क्यों बनेगा? बिकॉज आपको पूरा क्लासिसिज्म you have to cover the whole classicism. The in examination, yeah, in syllabus, it has not been elaborated what you have to read in classicism. Classicism means you must know what happened in classicism, what the trends and movements took place during classicism. So the biggest change you find in the field of what? The biggest change you find in the field of drama. Instead of Shakespearean tragedy, you instead of Shakespearean tragedy, what do you find? Instead of Shakespearean tragedy, you find what? You find heroic tragedy. So you find what? You find heroic tragedy. And heroic tragedy is also known as restoration tragedy. And in restoration age, you find what? You find that to some extent the literary principles of classical, yeah, classicism, the literary principles of classicism was imitated. And what was classicism? Classicism means the ideology of Homer. Classicism means the ideology of Theocritus. Classicism means the ideology of Virgil. Classicism means the ideology of Aeschylus. Classicism means the ideology of Euripides. So when you talk about literature of Greek and Rome, which came in the regime of King Augustus, then that is known as classicism. But that literary principle was revived, that literary principle was imitated by John Dryden, Alexander Pope, and his followers. This is why the age of Alexander Pope, this is why the age of John Dryden, this is why the age of Dr. Samuel Johnson neoclassicism are known as neoclassicism. So when I talk about classicism, it means in English literature it is known as neoclassicism because classical literary principles, the literary attributes of Homer, the literary attributes of Virgil, the literary attributes of Theocritus, Aeschylus, Euripides, Sophocles, these were imitated by John Dryden or his followers, Alexander Pope or his followers. Then you will come to know about what this is why this particular thing is known as neoclassicism. So in this age, what you find in this age, you find a big change in drama that was heroic tragedy. And in poetry, what do you find? A big change, the use of irony, the use of satire, the use of heroic couplet, the use of courtly manner. Now in the next point, it was an age of courtly manner. It was an age of political conspiracy. It was an age of artificiality. It was an age of aristocratic way of living. If you take only one poem, just I want to know you all are familiar, the magnum opus of means the masterpiece of John Dryden. That is what that is Absalom and Achitophel. What is Absalom and Achitophel? Absalom and Achitophel is a political satire. It deals with courtly manner, courtly life, or you can say ki humdrum are the chaotic situation which took place in the court of King Charles II. So in this age, what you find, especially in poetry, you find conspiracy, you find courtly manner, you find artificiality, you find aristocratic way of living. Are you getting this point? May I know? किसी को कोई problem?
No, sir. It's clear, sir. I hope.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Just I want to take the name of Shripal ji, Hakeek bhai, SK Saifi bhai, Jaswinder bhai, Siram bhai ka. I got the response. Manju ji, Jagmohan bhai, Mathili bhai, Lakshmi Prasad bhai, Vindhyachal ji. If you have any doubt, you can just ask. Otherwise, I have to go ahead.
Yes, sir. No doubt. No doubt.
Okay, okay, okay. Just again I am just telling you what you have to take. You have to take only some words, and what the words you have to pick up. You have to take only some words, and what is that? It was an age of irony. It was an age of satire. It was an age of heroic comedy. These are the three important things which you find in the literature of that age, especially in poetry. And even you will come to know you have to prepare a short answer, which I have prepared, which I will discuss tomorrow. And what is that? That is heroic couplet. That is heroic couplet. I will discuss with you tomorrow. But today I will discuss with you what the particular changes which took place in the literature of that age, especially in drama. And in drama, what do you find? Heroic tragedy. And other thing, other features of the literature of that age was what? The other features of the literature of that age was courtly manner, political conspiracy, artificiality, and aristocratic way of living. These words. So these words you have to keep in your mind. If you write any answer in your own words, never forget these words. These words you have to mention what an age of irony, an age of satire, an age of heroic couplet, and in drama we find heroic tragedy, which is also known as restoration tragedy, restoration comedy or comedy of manner. And you have to mention in this age we find courtly manner, political class. These words you have to learn by heart, nothing at all. These words can't be replaced at all. In your answer, these words should be used. वो इतना important है. And if you go, it was an age of the re-establishing of monarchy. इसका literature से कोई मतलब नहीं है. If you find कि theater was reopened in 1660, ये एक informative है. अगर आपको वन लाइनर तैयार करना तो उसके लिए, लेकिन जहाँ पे आपके आंसर में वो चीज आना चाहिए, आई माई सेल्फ इज just telling you कि this portion you have to take, this portion you don't have to miss if you are just preparing your answer. The greatest poet of this age was John Dryden. It is also called the age of John Dryden. If it is said ki why restoration age, why age of John Dryden, you have to mention this particular line because the leading poet of this age was John Dryden. He was the first official poet of English literature. He wrote some noble literary pieces. He composed some noble literary pieces, and among those literary pieces, आपका Absalom and Achitophel, Absalom and Achitophel, in which you find what? In which you find these things. So these things you have to go. Already I told you he was a laureate poet of King Charles II. His masterpiece in poetry is Absalom and Achitophel. If any question come regarding poetry of this age, only and only this particular section will be asked. अगर इस एज की पोइट्री से उठाया जाएगा तो यही पूछा जाएगा कि जॉन ड्राइडन का अब्सलम एंड एचिटोफेल में व्हाट डू यू फाइंड। पहली बात तो ये लॉन्ग में आएगा नहीं। अगर शॉर्ट में भी आता है तो यू हैव ओनली टू राइट एब्सलम एंड एचिटोफेल मैग्नम ऑपस आर मास्टरपीस ऑफ जॉन ड्राइडन। इट्स written in heroic couplet. It has what? It has the theme of political humdrum, ups and downs in the court of King Charles II. Then you have to mention this particular line. In this literary piece, we find, yeah, one can see courtly manner, political conspiracy, artificiality, and aristocratic way of living. You have to mention if you find this particular question is short answer type question within 50 words, then you have to mention these things. So what I want to say, if you pick up Absalom and Achitophel, even in Absalom and Achitophel you find that there is the use of the popish plot. You find how the people made conspiracy against Charles II, and it's a biblical allegory, it's a political satire. These things you will come to know if you go with this one. So remember that these things you have to keep in your mind कि what you have to take from this age, इस एज से आपको लेना क्या है. Now the second important point, his all for love is a heroic tragedy. Already I told you कि the age is remarkable for what? For heroic tragedy. और heroic tragedy में केवल all for love ऐसा है that is prescribed in most of the universities, either in graduation, not in graduation, but in post graduation, especially in MA previous, especially in MA previous. So you find what? You find All for Love. That is a heroic tragedy based on Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra and written in blank verse. This is only the exceptional tragedy. This is only the exceptional heroic tragedy written in blank verse. Otherwise, all the heroic tragedies are written in heroic meter, or you can say heroic couplet. Leaving this only. So you have to keep in mind. अगर ये क्वेश्चन शॉर्ट आंसर टाइप क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन ऑल फॉर लव, then you have to mention कि All for Love, a well-known heroic tragedy of John Dryden, is based on Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. Is based on Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. It is written in blank verse. It is written in blank verse. Yeah, you can mention it's only the exceptional heroic tragedy written in blank verse based on Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. It has the theme of love and valor. Heroic tragedy जो भी थी उसका जो थीम होता था क्या होता था? Love and valor. VALOUR. Love and valor. This is the theme of this tragedy. So if you find short answer type question on Absalom and Achitophel, then you have to mention what I told you. If you find short answer type question on blank word, then you have to go. If you find short answer type of question with heroic tragedy, then you have to go. If you find short answer type question on all for love, then you have to define. And how you have to define? What I told you कि स्पेशली अगर ऑल फॉर लव, अगर हीरोइक ट्रेजेडी का पूछा जाएगा तो उस नीचे आप केवल उसी की बात चलने वाली कि हीरोइक ट्रेजेडी कैसे क्या रही, उसी के बारे में बात करने जा रहे हैं. बट what you have to remember कि classicism does not mean that you have to define classicism. Classicism you have to define in this way. How do you find classicism in the works of John Dryden? Yeah, due to classicism, what the changes do you find in English literature, especially in this period? So that is the point. Now, here I would like to explain two other points. If I talk about heroic couplet, then remember that the heroic couplet means a pair of rhyming words introduced in English literature by Geoffrey Chaucer in Legend of Good Women and Canterbury Tales. It became an ideal meter of Restoration Age, Augustan Age, and Age of Sensibility. It was popularized by John Dryden and perfected by Alexander Pope. Some well-known poems which are written in heroic tragedy, in heroic couplet, are given below. John Dryden's Absalom and Achitophel, Alexander Pope's Rape of the Lock, Essay on Man, Essay on Criticism, Epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot, Dunstan. Now you will get these points which I am discussing, you will get. So orally, I am telling you, if you have to write a beautiful short answer on heroic couplet, what you have to read, what you have to write. If you have to write if you have to give the answer, what is heroic tragedy, how you have to start, how you have to begin. Then, if you find a specific question on and that is all for love, then you have to tell how. Another important question that can be asked, that is what, that is the blank word. If you find the question on blank words, you have to write blank words is unrhymed form of word. In English literature, it was introduced by Henry Howard Allah Surrey in his translation of Virgil's Aeneid, Book 2 and Book 4 in 1540. It became an ideal meter of Elizabethan age, Romantic age, and Victorian age. And most of the works of William Shakespeare, Milton's Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained, and William Wordsworth, the Prelude, are written in blank words, and it was an ideal meter of English literature. So you will come to know कि information you have to put there because they don't need any critical analysis. Critical analysis किसका होता है? वर्क का होता है. लेकिन जो चीज प्रोसोडी है, जो चीज रेटरिक है, जो चीज लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस है, you have only to put information. I think you got it. Can anyone respond me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, okay. Now, I'm telling you here what another point which is very significant. Yeah, please mute, please mute. Here you will come to know. I'm going to take the next point, and what is that? That is a uh, heroic tragedy. You will come to know if the question comes to what is heroic tragedy. Remember that he always explain heroic tragedy, a type of drama, is known also as restoration tragedy. अब यहाँ पे आपको एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा व्हाई इट इज नोन एज रेस्टोरेशन ट्रेजेडी, बिकॉज इट फ्लरिश्ड इन रेस्टोरेशन एज. The ideal meter of heroic tragedy is what? The ideal meter of heroic tragedy is heroic couplet. But exceptionally, John Dryden's masterpiece All for Love is written in blank words based on Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. It has the theme of love and war. Then you have to define there is a critique, and what is that? I will tell you ki there are some critics what they have said. You have to define again. But here you will come to know ki there are some statements or informations which are given there. You have to go with these statements. Ki what has been said. But what I want to tell you, there is comedy of manner also. I will come here also. But I just want to know here. Just I want to know ki because I have taken what I have taken heroic tragedy. Just I want to define here. Yeah, this particular portion. After taking, I will come back again. I will come back again. If you go with heroic tragedy, that is a very significant question. This is why I said ki I have taken each and every point, and here too you will to know ki a heroic play like a heroic poem or an epic. Heroic tragedy is like a heroic poem. Number one point which you don't have to miss, because heroic play is going to be compared with what? Heroic poem is going to be compared with heroic poem or an epic is generally built around a larger than life. Is generally built around this word you don't have to miss, a larger than life. What do you mean by a larger than life? A larger than life means that you find exaggeration, you find hyperbole. The thing which you see in your daily life, those things you don't find in that type of presentation in heroic tragedy. It is going to be elaborated, it is going to be exaggerated. If you find the theme of love, if you find the concept of beauty, if you find the conflict, love, beauty, which you see in your daily life, in the same way, you don't find in heroic tragedy because it is larger than life. You have to remember this word key. In heroic tragedy, you find what? It's built around larger than life. That is the point. So, what I want to say, if you go with larger than life, and what is that larger than life? And in heroic tragedy, you find heroic warriors. What do you find? You find heroic warriors who is a master both of swordmanship. It means that the character or the master of heroic tragedy, they are the what? They are the master in swordmanship. They are the great warrior, and is- and what? And find what? Stagey rhetoric. This word, it means that they are the good speaker and also as well as swordmanship. They have the attribute of swordmanship and they are also good rhetorician. The hero is almost invariably a key prince. And who is the hero? The hero is not a common man. The hero is not a beggar. In heroic tragedy, always the hero is what? The hero is what you find. You find a prince or an army general. For example, in Antony and Cleopatra, you find Antony who is a what? Who is an army general. And what is the plot of the heroic tragedy? The plot of the play involves the fate of an empire. It involves the fate of an empire. If you find the fate of the hero is going to decline, the fate of the hero is going to decline, it means that that hero is what? That hero is the fate of the empire. Declining of the fate of the hero means declining of the empire. That is the point. Gallantry, a word you don't have to miss. Gallantry, adventure, love, honor are the usual in heroic story, are the usual themes. These are the themes. Around these points, heroic tragedy is composed or written. The principal conflict faced by the hero is between love and honor. Yeah, love and valor. You find in heroic tragedy there is a conflict, and what is that conflict? That conflict is the conflict between love and honor. The practitioners of heroic tragedy mostly used rhymed pentameter couplets, that is heroic couplets. जिन्होंने भी heroic tragedy लिखा, they used heroic couplets. Exceptional is only one, that is what? John Dryden's Antony and Cleopatra. Not Antony, All for Love. And the subtitle of All for Love is The World Well Lost. Now you will come to know in the next point its the principal practice. Now you have to make it what? You have to make it another passage. You don't have to put the arrow mark. You have to make it another passage. Its principal practitioners were John Dryden, Elkanah Settle, Elkanas Settle, Nat Lee and Thomas Otway. सर विलियम डी एविनेंट सर विलियम डी एविनार्ड एक आपके हीरोइक ट्रेजिक ड्रामेटिस्ट है। उनका एक ड्रामा है द सीज ऑफ रोडेस इज द फर्स्ट हीरोइक ट्रेजेडी। जॉन ड्राइडन wrote some heroic tragedies which are given below. The one is what the Indian Emperor, Tyrannic Love, The Conquest of Granada, Amboyana, Aurangzeb, All for Love, Don Sebastian, and Elkanah Settle, who is another author. He has written The Empress of Morocco. Natalie has written The Rival's Queen. Thomas Otway has written The Orphan. Venice Preserved. Heroic drama was largely a product of फ्रेंच इन्फ्लुएंस। जो हीरोइक ड्रामा था उसके ऊपर किसका इन्फ्लुएंस रहा? फ्रेंच इन्फ्लुएंस का। क्यों? बिकॉज चार्ल्स सेकेंड got shelter in France, and when he came back from France in 1660, he came with the literary principles of France. So you find the impact of French literature on heroic tragedy. It has a bombastic dialogue and exaggerative expression. Hero is the symbol of absolute power and heroine beauty. Hero is the symbol of absolute power and heroine beauty. So what I want to tell you, you find this particular point. So what you have to define? If you find any answer, especially heroic tragedy, you have to go one significant point. And what is that significant point? That significant point is ki what is heroic tragedy? First you have to define ki heroic tragedy or restoration tragedy is a type of drama emerged in restoration age। और जब आप restoration age लिखेंगे तो in bracket you have to put from 1660 to 1700। then you have to tell in this drama there is the theme of love and valor। it has the impact of the French literature। then you have to tell then you have to tell in heroic tragedy what do you find? Conflict faced by the hero between love and honor, and you find it is written in heroic couplet but exceptional. There is exception also, and what is that? Alpha love। उसके पहले I told you all the characteristics, then you have to come about who were the true practitioners and what drama has been written। if you find short answer type question you have to minimize it, you have to go with only one or two example, already वो कम हो जाएगा। so what I have taken heroic tragedy। I left here comedy, but I'm going to take what? Now I'm going to take restoration comedy। I just want to ask a point कि have you any problem regarding heroic tragedy? किसी को?
So,
Should I go ahead? Okay. Okay. So now, just telling you कि another thing which you find in this age was that was the restoration comedy। If you find any short question on restoration comedy, what you have to write? First, you have to write restoration comedy or comedy of manners। Remember that restoration comedy is also known as comedy of manners। Restoration comedy or comedy of manners emerged in restoration age। it's a type of drama which deals with the lifestyle of aristocratic people or people belong to upper class। So what I want to say, the restoration एज में जो दूसरा चीज आया है दैट इज द मैनर ऑफ whom and the manner of what? The manner of aristocratic people। the restoration age is associated with the rise and development of comedy of manner। the chief practitioners of the comedy of manner were Sir George Etheridge। you don't have to forget this name, Sir George Etheridge, William Wycherley। These were the two great practitioners। William Congreve, Sir John Weinbrock, and George Farquhar. These are the four or five names which you have to mention. Now, the next point, comedy of manner was indeed a true mirror of what? Comedy of manner was indeed a true mirror of the temper and outlook of the society, rather a section of the society of the age. It was not a, you can say it's represent the whole society, not only a section of society, but especially it represents the manner of the people of aristocratic class. So this particular is the characteristic of comedy of manner. And what do you find? Is the first characteristic of comedy of manner is that it's the true mirror. Yeah, indeed a true mirror of the temper and outlook of the society. Second point, comedy of manner likes the warmth and depth of Elizabethan comedy. Here you can just see the characteristics of Elizabethan comedy was what? In Elizabethan comedy or Shakespearean comedy, you find love, you find beauty, you find romance, you find the heroes were in center. Even Charles Ruskin said we have only Shakespearean comedy has only heroes, not heroes. And in Shakespearean comedy, you find ringing bell of marriage. In Shakespearean comedy, you find the course of true love does not run smooth. Is in Shakespearean comedy, you find what you find. Ki love is the fruit. Marriage is the fruit of love. In the end of the play, whether that is the major character or minor character, they all have been united and they all accept the sacred knot of marriage, KNOT, knot of marriage. But but what do you find in restoration comedy? In restoration comedy, no love. Instead of love, you find passion, you find lust, you find intrigue, you find conspiracy, you find backbiting, you find scandal, you find mongering, you find artificiality, you find prosaic language. These were the manners, these were the things which have been presented. So in comedy of manners lacks the warmth and depth of Elizabethan comedy. I also explained what do you find in Elizabethan comedy. The characteristics of Elizabethan comedy you don't find in comedy of manner. But on the side of credit, it also skews its extravagance and lack of realism. Here is what? Here is the lack of realism. शेक्सपियर्स प्लेज वर आउट ऑफ फेवर इन दिस एज. दैट इज अनदर पॉइंट. ये कोई लिखने की जरूरत नहीं होगी कि शेक्सपियर्स प्लेज वर आउट ऑफ फेवर. बट व्हाट यू हैव टू राइट दिस पार्टिकुलर पॉइंट कि इन कॉमेडी ऑफ मैनर one can see the lack of what? The lack, lacks the warmth and depth of Elizabethan comedy. The characteristics of Elizabethan comedy we don't find is comedy of manner. And what we find? We find lust, we find passion, we find conspiracy, we find intrigue, we find scuttling, we find mongering, we find something you can say ki degradation of the moral values, we find satire, we find wit, we find reason, we find artificiality, we find prosaic language, we find use of irony and satire. The manners which the comedy of manners reveals were not the manners of all classes of restoration society. They were rather the manners of the courtly classes only. That is the point. You find what? You find the manner of the courtly classes. That is the key point. Next point, the restoration comedy of manners concentrated on the activities. कौन सी activities? Intrigues, amorous, love making, achievement of gay, frivolous, rakish type of young men and women. Always they have passion, they have fever and fret. And what type of fever and fret? They have lust, passion, and desire of sexual intercourse, degradation of the moral values. These things you find. So the restoration comedy of manners concentrated on the activities, intrigues, and amorous, achievement of gay, frivolous, rakish type. ये शब्द आपको भूलना नहीं है. एकदम मंत्र समझ लीजिए इसका कि you have to learn these words and to put there. So what again I would like to say here, here I just want to explain that is what, unlike the Elizabethan romantic comedy, The comedy of manner is characterized by realism, social analysis and satire. इट्स यूज ऑफ प्रोज, और इसमें किसका यूज किया गया, प्रोज का, इसका रियलिस्टिक इफेक्ट बढ़ा देता है. तो दीज आर द वर्ड्स विच यू हैव टू फाइंड की व्हाट यू फाइंड हियर. यू फाइंड रियलिज्म, you find social analysis, you find satire, and you find the use of prose. The next point, the scene of most comedies of manners is लंदन. उसका जो सेटिंग है बड़े घराने में, बड़े शहर का सेटिंग दिखाया गया है. मोर स्पेसिफिकली इट्स कॉफी हाउस, चॉकलेट हाउसेस. अभी अभी मैंने आपको बताया था पीरियोडिकल ऐसे, एंड इन द इमर्जेंस ऑफ द पीरियोडिकल ऐसे this manner coffee house culture that played a significant role. So when you talk about comedy of manner, you find it has setting, what it has setting in London, and especially where, especially its coffee and chocolate houses, clubs and gambling houses, which were herds of the corrupt and fashionable ladies and gentlemen. Corrupt and fashionable ladies. If you find corrupt and fashionable ladies, it means that ladies and gentlemen of the aristocratic class. And you will come to know they have what, they don't have goodness, they don't have morality, they don't have virtue, but you find the degradation of the morality, goodness, and virtue. There is a critic, Leslie Stephen. Leslie Stephen क्या कहते हैं? Leslie Stephen says that the comedy of manners is a comedy written by blackguards for blackguards. You can mention, you don't have to miss this quotation. Leslie Stephen has written Comedy of Manners is a comedy written by blackguards for blackguards, only seeing the manners, seeing lust, passion, intrigue, you can say amorous, gay, rakish atmosphere, these things. The writers of the Comedy of Manners gave much more importance to the wit polish of their dialogue than to the construction of their plot, which Aristotle thinks is the soul of tragedy. In Comedy of Manner, plot is not important. What is important? Wit is important, and polished dialogues are important. The first true practitioner of the Comedy of Manner was Etheridge. Who was the first true practitioner? Etheridge, whose important works include Love in a Tub, She Would If She Could, and The Man of Mold. Second author is William Wycherley, wrote four plays: Love in a Wood, The Gentleman, Dancing Master, The Country Wife, The Plain Dealer. The next is Congreve, wrote The Old Bachelor, The Double Dealer, Love for Love, and The Way of the World. Next is Farquhar, wrote The Recruiting Officer, The Buse Stratagem, and so on. Van Bruck. So in this way, what I have done comedy of manner, I have done heroic tragedy, I have done heroic couplet, I have done blank words. I told you why restoration is and the basic characteristics of restoration is. Just I want to know, and also I told you about Epsilon and Acetophen. Just I want to know, have you any problem? Because I have to take another important point related to this age, जो बहुत important है मेरी नजर.
It's okay, sir. Good one.
Oh, oh. Now, just see what I want to say. कि which topic is important. I am just here, just pointing you here. Evelyn and Pepys. If you go with this name, you will come to know कि heroic restoration age was highly significant for diary writing. If the question comes, write a short note on diarist of restoration age. If the question comes, what is a diary? And tell the role of John Evelyn and Samuel Pepys, आपको ये पोर्शन कवर करना है. आपको ये पोर्शन कवर करना. And what is that thing? Remember that always first you have to define what is diary. Diary is a type of prose work. In a very simple line, is a very simple word you have to write. Diary is a type of prose work. It's a type of prose in which day-to-day record of a man's life, day-to-day record of a man's life is what? is recorded. Day-to-day events of a man's life is recorded. And diary is written with the intention only to read, not to publish it. It's not a common, it's not the public property. Public property means here, when diary is not written with the intention to publish it, but with the passage of time, diary became an important document. So the two diaries of this age was who? The two diarists of this age, they were John Evelyn and Samuel Pepys. These two men, John Evelyn and Samuel Pepys, are famous as writers of diaries in which they jotted down the daily occurrences. ये डिफिनीशन यही है, डेली occurrences. डोंट लीव. आप कहेंगे सर आप क्यों इतना सर्किल बना रहे हैं? इसलिए बना रहे हैं, ये चीज नहीं भूलना है, डेली occurrences वाला शब्द. You don't have to miss this particular word. If you go with this word, you will never forget why I am writing here या what I want to say. कि डायरी के दो राइटर, तो ये तो नाम ऊपर ही है, जॉन इवलिन एंड सैमुअल पेपिस. बट व्हाट इज डायरी? In diary, we find the daily occurrences of their own lives. किसकी lives का? जॉन इवलिन एंड पेपिस का. But diary means the daily occurrences of the life of anyone without any thought that the world would ever see or be interested in what they had written. When diary is written, it is not written with the intention that in near future the people will come to know about it, the people will read. It's a not public property, it's a private property. Remember that. Diary जब लिखी जाती है तो never it has the objective that it will come in the hand of others and the people will read it. Even the people say that don't touch my diary. Don't touch. Even family members को allow नहीं किया जाता कि what is written. But sometimes you will come to know diary plays a very significant role. Especially you will come to know if anyone has committed suicide, he also, yeah, she has also written diary, and that becomes the evidence ki what happened, why she committed suicide, what was the factor, what was the situation. So under these things you will come to know. So what you find? Two diarists, John Evelyn and Samuel Pepys, and what you find? Diary is the daily occurrences, and what you find key when diary is written, there is no intention that in near future the people will come to know about it. It's not the public property; it's the property of an individual one. Next, Evelyn was the author of the Sylvia. इसका कोई मतलब नहीं कि was the author of the Sylvia. इस पॉइंट को आपको छोड़ देना है. ये पॉइंट इतना वो करना है. फिर आपको क्या करना है? यहाँ पे आपको चलना है. पेपिस, सैमुअल पेपिस ने जो डायरी लिखा था, पेपिस डायरी कवर्स द ईयर फ्रॉम 1660 टू 1669. एक डॉक्यूमेंट बन गया कि उनकी डायरी में 1660 से लेकर 1669 तक का जिक्र किया गया है. एंड गॉसिप्स अबाउट एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम हिज ओन पोजीशन एंड ड्यूटीज एट द ऑफिस, हिज ड्रेस एंड किचन एंड कुक एंड रिलेटिव्स to the great political intrigues of office and the standards of high society. So, what do you find in the diary of Pepys? In the diary of Pepys, you find the years. It covers the year from 1660 to 1600. You find gossip. You find his duties at the office, his dress and his kitchen में उनका कुकिंग क्या है, उनके रिलेटिव्स कौन है, और उस समय का ग्रेट पॉलिटिकल इंट्रीग ऑफिस में, उस समय का स्टैंडलिंग का, हाई सोसाइटी का कल्चर मैनर, सब कुछ. तो अब सवाल उठता क्या नहीं पाते? उस समय तो एनडीटीवी था नहीं, उस समय तो जो है क्या कहते हैं, देयर वाज नो रेडियो. तो जो कुछ भी इंफॉर्मेशन का सोर्स था वो क्या था? दैट वाज डायरी, दैट वाज आवर लिटरेचर. और यही लिटरेचर ही आप कह सकते हैं, दैट वाज द टीवी, दैट वाज द you can say ki anything cinema hall, means that time theater was playing a very significant role. But you will come to know ki instead of theater, diary, prose works, these things, they also played a significant role. Now I have taken, it's a very significant passage, and this passage is why important because I have taken this passage to make you clear कि what do you find in restoration age. अगर क्वेश्चन आता है कि write a short note on restoration age, then what do you find in restoration age? The chief thing to note in England during the Restoration is the tremendous social reaction of the restraints of Puritanism. Restoration एज में एक बहुत बड़ा बदलाव देखने को मिलता है. That was what? कि Restoration एज stood against Puritanism. और क्यों प्यूरिटैनिज्म के खिलाफ आया था? बिकॉज इन प्यूरिटैनिज्म वी फाइंड सम रिस्ट्रेंट. एंड व्हाट रिस्ट्रेंट? You don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. When you talk about Puritanism, Puritanism में what was important in Puritanism, yeah, during Puritanism, only one point was important, that was the uplifting of the moral values. And in Comedy of Manners, you find the downfall of the moral values. So you can just understand why did I send Puritanism. मैंने एक सीट आपको Puritanism का भेजा है and I have taken that class on another platform. I will send you that video also. Then you will be able to link कि why I sent you. कि what do you find there and what do you not find here. So in Puritanism, what was important? Uplifting of the moral values was important. But what do you find there? You find here downfall of the moral values. So Restoration age was what? It was a reaction, it was a revolt ultimately against the restraints of Puritanism, which suggests the wide swing of pendulum from one extreme to the other. For a generation, many natural pleasures had been suppressed. Many natural pleasures, जो natural pleasure था, it has been suppressed. In which age? It has been suppressed in Puritanism. Now the theaters were reopened. In Restoration age, theater was reopened in 1660, and in Puritanism, theater was banned in 1642. Bull and bear baiting revival and sports, music, dancing, a wild delight in the pleasures and vanities of this world replaced that absorption in other worldliness which characterize the extreme of Puritanism. When I talk about Puritanism, in Puritanism, what was given importance? The importance was given that life after death is important. This earth is for karma. What you will do here after the death, that life is forever, and what you will sow, what you will do, you will get result. Yeah, you will be pass a happy life. This is why the people were passing a restricted life, a life where there was a righteousness, where there was virtue, where there was uplifting of moral values. Not at all there was no culture of coffee house, no pub, no restaurant, no drink, no sexual intercourse, no amorous, no ultimately you can say the thing which we find in Comedy of Madness. But you find in Restoration age, these things were disregarded. Complete change you find here, which characterize the extreme of Puritanism. In next passage, you find in literature, the change is no less marked from the Elizabethan drama playwrights turned to courts evil. And Elizabethan drama became out of fashion. There was no importance of Shakespeare in this age. किस age में? Restoration age में. Shakespeare's Hamlet, Shakespeare's Othello, the four great tragedies, the people don't have any interest. They became out of fashion because क्यों? People were only believing in human nature. The people don't have ultimately any interest in human psyche. People don't have any interest in human psyche, and all the characters of Shakespeare are psychological characters. And in Shakespearean tragedy, characters they belong to aristocratic class, but what they commit, what they do, you can just see yourself. We can see ourselves. You can find योरसेल्फ वहां पर. So you find कि शेक्सपियर का या जो एलिजाबेथन ड्रामा था, it became out of fashion, presently disgusted the people and were driven from the stage. From romance, writers turned into realism. This is another point. In Shakespearean tragedy, we find romance, or in Shakespearean comedy, we find romance. But in Restoration age, we find realism instead of romance. From Italian influence with its exuberance of imagination, they turned to France, another बदलाव, another change. उसके समय में इटालियन इन्फ्लुएंस था। इटालियन का मतलब कि ग्रीक ट्रेजिडी और ग्रीक कॉमेडी का इन्फ्लुएंस था एलिजाबेथन एज में। बट हियर वी फाइंड द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ फ्रेंच लिटरेचर विच ऑलरेडी आई हैव डिस्कस्ड विद यू। Repress the emotions to follow the head rather than the, and here the people followed head, not heart. It means that the literature of restoration is the product of head, not heart. दो शब्द ध्यान में रखना है। And to write in a clear, concise, formal style. And all you have to write in clear, concise, and formal style according to set rules. Poets turned from the noble blank verse of Shakespeare and Milton, from the variety and melody which had characterized English poetry since Chaucer's days, to the monotonous heroic couplet. ब्लैंक वर्ड्स बिकेम आउट ऑफ फैशन और ब्लैंक वर्ड्स की जगह क्या आ गया है, हीरोइक कपलेट आ गया है और उसका मैकेनिकल परफेक्शन। The greatest writers of the age is John Dryden, who established the heroic couplet as the prevailing verse form in English poetry and who developed a new and serviceable prose style suited to the practical needs of the age. The popular ridicule of Puritanism is burlesque and doctrine. Here you find nothing at all. अब जॉन इवलिन वो डायरिस्ट वगैरह का बात होगा, all these things you find, you can read your own self. इतना important था, already I discussed with you and I done my job. And I would like to just conclude this session here, just bind this session here. And I will meet in morning. Don't have any work, तो मैं जो